Man of Steel time. Fucking Atari still in this shit. How did they own the license for that one? That shit must have been cheap, dude. This is another game from the Xbox magazine days. I used to play this demo a lot. I thought it looked pretty cool. Back in the day, people would steal the demo discs out of the magazines. I'd be pissed. I can't believe there's not more Superman games. That last one, the 360 one, that shit was better than Spoderman. Fuck those games. Whoa. Story mode. Journalist mode. Superman's empty. Krypton. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about Man of Steel because, it's been the topic of conversation for years and years at this point. So yeah, when I was watching it again, I was thinking how, like, I remember when they were bringing, like, Nolan on as a producer, and I was just thinking how, like, Nolan never got enough criticism for how Man of Steel was received. Because, like, if you look at Man of Steel compared to other Zack Snyder movies, like, it's kind of, especially the way the movie looks, it looks more like Batman Begins. And it's even same writer, David Goyer, who I like. He's done good comic book movies, like Blade, obviously. And not to say the script is, like, completely bad, but people did not want, like, a dark take on Superman.
What's going on?
The gritty, realistic take. And to me, that was more informed by, like, because weren't there early, like, talks about, like, having like the Nolan Batmans be, like, the foundation for, like, a shared DC universe, Because I know they were talking to Christian Bale about, like, teaming up or whatever at some point. And so it makes sense that Nolan would come on as producer because they would want some, like, uniformity there. Some common threads. So yeah, I kind of give Nolan more credit or blame than a lot of people do for Man of Steel. I would say Snyder's fault is just, like, putting up, like, crazy action scenes for action scene's sake, or farming, as we've been calling it. Humanity's been calling it.
So much for a slow news day.
But, like, the whole intro with Russell Crowe, he's, like, the best Jor-El in that whole action sequence. Like, I get people... I think what it was is that, the 70s and 80s Superman were, like, they were lighthearted, but they were also, like, cheap and, not really well written in my eyes. And then Superman Returns was more the same, just not as good. So we hadn't really got, like, a good, true to the comics, lighthearted take yet, really. At least not with a lot of action. And instead of that, we got, like, dark, brooding action. Which is cool, but people weren't into it. And to be fair, like, it kind of does drag on at the end. Although when he Superman jumps over the LexCorp tanker, or the 18-wheeler, like, it's just hitting a parking garage that people have left already. And even when he's getting tossed around in the buildings, like when Zod spins him around by his cape, there's like no one in the building. So, I know people have pointed that out, but it's not like it really matters or people care at that point. Oh yeah, I remember that weird streak when he flies. But anyway, so yeah, I think what it was like, there's no way you can look at the Krypton sequence in Man of Steel and say it's worse than the Krypton sequences in Superman 1 and 2, which are fucking shite comparison. I really don't like Terrence Stamp's performance. And it's laughable. I didn't talk about Superman 2 because I had bought the Superman Genesis game. I actually bought it last year when I bought this game. And it didn't work then because I was trying to get a head start on this year's, you know, games I wanted to play based on movies that are coming out. And, well, that's the controller making that noise. What did it say to do? I didn't even read the directions. Oh, shit. Okay. But yeah, so when I bought Superman 2 again this year, I mean Superman on Genesis, it didn't work either. I was fucking pissed, dude. And I couldn't find a good picture of the cart online to like compare it. Cause there's like a pin missing. But I've read that like some Genesis games don't have all the pins anyway, but I don't know why the fuck that game won't work, but all the other ones will. Oh, fuck my back up turning around like that. Yeah. I like that artwork. Sick. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that it's not working. I mean, I'll try again when I play Death and Return of Superman, but I'm not holding out hope that it's going to work again. I'm just going to have to finally get a EverDrive cart. But yeah, Superman. Oh, and when they fucking get sucked into the Phantom Zone, they have that stupid effect where it's like flat and then it like spins around and they're like stuck in it in Superman 2. It's fucking bad, dude. In the Snyder one, they get frozen and shot up in like dildo ships. So I mean, it's kind of goofy also, but not as bad.
Better try good old-fashioned
That bitch. Oh, Y is freeze breath, and B is the heat vision. Well, it vibrates even when you charge it up. There are more of them over here. He looks kind of cool. Does the cape... Is there a lot of clipping? Not really, huh? It's pretty impressive, actually. They must have spent a lot of time on that shit. Yeah, I can't believe Warner Brothers can't even make a Superman game. They can't make a fucking Wonder Woman game. They can't make a Batman game. What the fuck, man? So bad.
These drones seem to be vulnerable to extreme.
But yeah, the whole like Man of Steel Krypton sequence. Oh, and Laura, is that fucking Vanessa Kingpin from Daredevil? She's pretty hot. Someone on Twitter was saying how like that little bird pterodactyl thing that Russell Crowe flies. That's his crypto. Fuck that guy.
I can hear more bots over there.
But yeah, I would say like the main criticisms, like the destruction at the end of the movie of Man of Steel. I mean, that and fucking Kevin Costner, Pa Kent, telling him not to help people and shit. And yeah, it's like even when you watch it again, it's like at the very least it makes you think about it, because like I like Man of Steel. I'm trying to wrap my head around not helping and why he would not want him to help. I mean, and they do kind of explain it, because they'll see. I mean, he thinks he'll be rejected by people. I don't think they explicitly stated it enough that like people would reject him in like a spiritual sense, like, you know, people that are Christian or any religion would see Superman as like some kind of weird either threat or like some, like, you know, fulfillment. And so as a kid, like Superman does mention God, so he, you know, that's cool that he's a Christian, but also that he's like aware of God, and because he's asking his dad, like, did God do this to me? And that's when he kind of has to explain to him that he's an alien and shit. But yeah, people don't talk about like Superman saves people on that oil tanker right at the beginning of the movie. When I was watching, I was like, oh shit, he's saving the Diamond Dogs in Outer Heaven. But yeah, I think people didn't really like the grunge Superman. When I was watching the new one, I was thinking how like the new one is punk rock Superman, Man of Steel is grunge. I guess the original for the Donners, you know, the old ones, they'd be like, I don't know, the Beatles or some shit. And then but I was like, when are they gonna do, you know, metal Superman? They're gonna end up adapting like the Absolute universe probably at some point, or taking elements from that. But then they also did the Dark Knight's Metal or whatever it was called. So they had a metal Superman in that. What do these green guys mean? These gringos. So yeah, I was confused for a long time, but okay, I finally get it. Cause I know they always said that like Supergirl Kara was in the Kara. She was in the that little pod when he finds the ship. Um, but it's like I was always like, well, how did that ship get there? Cause it's not the ship that he came in as a baby. Even though the first time you watch it, you kind of get confused, like, you know, because you're thinking it's a ship that he was on. But so I guess that's the ship she flew down on, or whatever the fuck. And that whole sequence is pretty cool, where Russell Crowe's his shadow is like explaining to Cal, and it has that like weird moving like silver tapestry thing. I mean, that's cooler than like faces on a crystal, like in the original ones. Although I do like how it looks in Superman Returns when Brando's face shows up. It looked better in that actually. How many of these dudes have to fight?
Brainiac 13 robots just don't know
Those
when to quit.
Brainiac 13 robots
I'll
just
deal
don't
with
know
them
when to
after I
quit.
save that building.
And yeah, Lois Lane, Amy Adams. I think she's fine, but like, I really don't think she ever had like much chemistry with Henry Cavill. But even more than that, like they just never really wrote their relationship at all. You know, they never really put any effort into it, so it's really just an afterthought. Like, here's the chick that he has to save. But I think as like, you know, the like, you know, reporter with gumption or whatever the fuck, I think she's good at that. But we never really could tell if she was like a good romantic lead, you know. Probably not though. Just saying. The fuck. But I mean, not counting like the weird like, don't show him your powers, son, and then everyone memes on Kevin Costner like telling him to stand down. They save him from the tornado, which is the only scene where Henry Cavill actually like gets to act in the whole movie. That's another bad thing about it too, is he's not even Clark Kent in the movie. Like, not really. But I think if he had actually gone to the Daily Planet sooner in the movie, or if they had incorporated it better, they could have tied in the idea of him wanting a job like that to Kevin Costner saying you have to blend in, you know, you can't just be helping everyone. And even in the movie, he kind of says he needs a job where he can be in dangerous places without people asking. So I think if the script was a little, if they spelled things out a little more for people, I think it might have been a little better received. Just slightly.
A well-placed punch should stop those generators.
Well-placed punch. Why can't it shoot him? What the fuck? Oh yeah, I guess like one of the other main criticisms obviously is that he kills Zod at the end. Which I never understood because, I mean, blame the script, or you know, blame the scenario, but in that situation, what else was he gonna do? You know? So like I get this thinking it's stupid that it has to come to that point, but the fact that he actually killed him, like, that's what he had to do at that point. Oh yeah, and Diane Lane, I think she's awesome in the movie. She's really, I mean, I always thought she was hot, and she's not really hot in this movie, but she she's just really good at like making you believe that she's like a really caring mother, and she really cares about Clark.
Super hearing is picking up the electrical hum of those generators. Better follow the soundtrack.
Martha. Dude, I can't believe BVS, man. I watched it the other day. It's rough, put it that way. Well, But yeah, I really like that scene where Clark and his mom are on the farm, and it's nighttime, and Zod's basically like taking over all of it. I don't know how he can like take over everyone's TV and phone, and also like translate it and have like graphics and shit. Like, who's this graphics guy? Oh shit, dude, what the fuck? Well, I thought it was a good, like, almost scary, like, alien invasion type scene. I just think maybe people weren't ready for because it really is like the grounded approach, like the Nolan approach. But yeah, like I said, he managed to not get any on him, so to speak. Is that my health bar? Am I about to die? Oh yeah, Michael Shannon's really good. Before Man of Steel, I used to like would buy like random horror movies because they were really cheap at like Blockbuster in Hastings. And there's one movie I bought. I forget. I think it's called Bug or something like that. And it's Michael Shannon like lives in this like kind of trailer park or something, and he like slowly thinks that like he's going crazy, and he thinks there's like bugs all over his apartment and shit. He's a really good performance, dude. So when I heard he was gonna be the main villain, I thought, that was a really good choice. It's pretty funny that he came back in Flash. What? Oh, is it timed or something?
The railway station is under attack.
Superman can use his powerful telescopic vision. Black button. Oh shit. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad it's not just detective mode, like it zooms in and tells you where the fuck it is. I wish you could fly faster though, like you can in Superman Returns. That was crazy. I was really pleasantly surprised by that game.
Better make this a one-on-one fight.
Yeah, I think the main part where people can have a beef. I mean, you can have beef at the end. People say beef like that, it always makes me think of Suicide Squad. With that scene with Joker and Harley in common. He's like, I don't want no beef, Joker. And Jared Leto's like, you don't want no beef? You don't want no beef? It just makes me think of it. But, I think the main gripe of senseless violence is how badly Smallville gets fucked up when the Kryptonians invade. And it's even worse after watching the new Superman, because you can imagine like the people that live in that version of Smallville getting like invaded by these Kryptonians and getting fucked up, and like they're fighting through the IHOP and shit, and they blow up 7-Eleven. And like the whole like main like main street gets all fucked up by them and shit. Yeah, and the military's so stupid, dude, because they're still shooting at Superman. It takes that sequence for that one guy. Who's that fucking guy from Law and Order or whatever to be like, this is not our enemy or whatever. And oh yeah, old boy from the Lost World is the scientist guy or whatever. I didn't even clown on him hard enough. That scene after they save Sarah Harding from the Stegosauruses, and then Ian has that argument with her, and the fucking little girl, he pulls her out because they hear the helicopters, and she has this awful voiceover, cut the umbilical, dad. But then the helicopters are coming, and the ball guy, I forget his name, dude. But he's like, it says engine on the side of that chopper. Well, Hammond said 2 teams. His fucking voice cracks, and they kept that take in the movie. I'd be pissed, dude. Fuck you, Spielberg, little bitch. Little roundhouse.
There are more of them over here.
But yeah, the one, like the female Kryptonian, she's pretty cool. Someone was saying that also on Twitter, and then like one of the comments was like, "All right, now off the top of your head, what was her name?" And I was like, "Oh shit." And the other big Kryptonian, I also forgot too, because someone mentioned how like fucking Michael Keaton beats him in Flash, the big one. So how tough can they be? What the fuck? Dude, what is he aiming at? What the fuck? Am I supposed to
I can
actually
hear
fight
more
all?
bots over there.
But yeah, I know like a lot of people didn't like the sort of like Christian allegory. Oh yeah, but what I was getting at, like, it would have been more interesting if they had actually pushed that further, because that's what I thought Lex was gonna be angry with Superman about, like see him as like blasphemous or whatever.
Interesting. These
And
B-13 bots can't seem to handle cold.
I feel like knowing that Jesse Eisenberg is Lex ruins Man of Steel. Because when Man of Steel came out, you're like, oh, it's gonna be cool when he fights Lex, or he meets up with his Lex, you know. And it's just like such a disappointment. I mean, and if, they kind of did try to get at that, I guess, but it's just Jesse Eisenberg sucks. Cool. But yeah, to me, it's cool that like Superman and his dad kind of believes that like he was given powers for you know, for a Christian reason, spiritual reason, or whatever.
Great. Now they're coming in groups.
What sucks about Kryptonians is like when they're on their home planet, they're not even strong. So it's weird that those powers like manifest because of Earth's sun. Or like mutants.
Those robots are draining the technology from that building.
Those
I
robots
have to
are
stop them
draining.
before it collapses.
I must have just went too slow. I don't know how I would have missed all of it. What a bitch. Fuck. G G13, G14 classified. The fuck? He's still alive? Dude, he just keeps going lower and lower. You waste my time on this shit. And yeah, the Daily Planet, like, I don't know, Lawrence Fishburne's fine. He's just like kind of no nonsense. There's no Jimmy Olsen. It's just that chick and the other guy. Oh, that guy's a good actor from House of Cards.
I've got to destroy those generators. And the B-13
Tries to
robots
hook up
that are
with her
coming
at
out
the
of
end, and she's like, try the... Oh, Lois is like, try the intern pool. And I was like, that chick is just an intern? I was like, why do they give a fuck about her at the end? When they're all waiting around to die from the world engine. Oh yeah, I remember that was really funny. Because Kevin Smith told that story about the producer, John Peters. And then he talked about how he watched Man of Steel and he saw the world engine and it looked like a fucking spider. And then they actually did it in the Flash, but I remember at the time I thought that was kind of cool. He finally got his spider in the movie. Oh yeah, when he falls in the ocean after he flies through the world engine thing, and there's a shot of him in the water again, similar to the one that starts the movie after he saves the oil tanker, and it cuts to a flashback of his childhood. There's like, is it like orcas or some shit? There's fish around, and people were saying that was like a Aquaman, Aquaman cameo, and it also made me think of that at the beginning too, because he's like a crab fisherman or some shit. He's working as a crab fisherman, and it looks kind of like the fishing village that's in the beginning of Justice League. So they should have tied it in there. But fucking the Snyderverse was over before it even started. Yeah, I never would have thought like people were that crazy, like the Snyder Bros. But I mean, I get it, cause like if you really were invested in the movies, I mean, and I kind of was too, but like Warner Brothers really fucked people around with how they handled that shit, and they fucked Henry Cavill around. I think just recently James Gunn kind of came out and like put the heat on like, the people that were actually in charge, because he said like the day he became the head of DC, like that was the day he found out that they were gonna bring back Cavill, and he didn't know about it. So yeah, he's kind of just trying to get them off of his back. Like I said, other than his brother saying like dumb shit or like, well, to be fair, I think he kind of tried to be a little provocative with James Gunn, the stuff he was saying before the movie came out. But I think since the movie came out, he kind of was very like politically correct with his answers, because I don't know, maybe he didn't think the movie would be that well received. Or at least he didn't think that like the word of mouth would be really good,
Great Krypton. I
So at least he knows well enough to leave well enough alone.
A little freeze ray should do the trick. Better put out those fires before the whole block ignites.
Oh yeah, and talking about the religion. So I really like that scene with when they capture Superman and Lois, and then Russell Crowe's like helping her get off the ship and shit, and then he helps Superman get out, and he's, he looks at Superman. He's like, you can save them, Cal, or you can save them all, and then he like, flies out in the plane and the pose and shit. I thought that was pretty cool. I think Russell Crowe really elevates the movie. Unfortunately, Costner was kind of a net negative for the movie.
The fires have destroyed the main fuel depot.
But I don't know if it was really his fault. The fuck did I do?
I've got to extinguish
I've got
those
to
fires
extinguish
before
those
they
fires.
spread.
A little freeze breath. That's what I was doing.
Better put out those fires before the whole block ignites.
The block is hot. Oh, I think I charged it, but I didn't let it go. Galloway. Is there more of them?
More
Nice.
B-13 robots attacking that building. There's no time to lose.
This is too similar to Superman 64. I mean, at least you can do shit, but it just has you flying from one point to the other. Oh, am I supposed to just hit these things first?
Great. Another fire.
What? Are you serious? Did I do the fire first? Oh yeah, I guess I have to do the fire first. Oh yeah, the score is really good. I didn't even talk about it. The best song is when Superman's kind of learning his powers a little bit. And yeah, it's fucked up because even that one scene where he's like using his powers, like he smiles a little bit, but then like he immediately like looks serious and is like pissed that he didn't fly right the first time or whatever. And like I said, they just had Cavill be like so stoic in the movie, and they really didn't let him have like hardly any emotion at all, except when his dad dies. Oh yeah, so he's playing like a younger version, right? And it was weird because like his voice sounded like they dubbed in a younger kid's voice on Henry Cavill's body. Maybe it's just me, but I thought it looked weird. But that's actually one of my criticisms of the original Superman, was like they have this teenage guy through like half the movie, and then it's supposed to cut to Christopher Reeve, and it's like they're probably not even that different in age. So it's just kind of jarring.
Great Krypton. I've
Dude,
got
what
to
the fuck?
extinguish those fires before they spread. A little freeze ray should do the trick. Better put out
You
those
have to start
fires
from
before
here?
the whole block ignites.
Damn, that's some fucking bullshit. I almost wanted to play MK vs DC again and play Superman in that. I might look up his combos and see what they're like.
Attacking that building. There's no time to lose.
Dude, this shit's so fucked up. It was good if they hit a wall or something. Dude.
Great. Another fire.
I guess this is what it's like to be Superman. You have to do all this bullshit. I did kind of think it was odd, like, when he's a little kid and, like, all of his senses are going off and his mom has to come help him. Like, wouldn't that have happened, like, a lot sooner in his life? It's not like X-Men where it manifests in your teens or whatever the fuck. Like, he would have been doing shit like that. And the little fat kid snitches on him. Ginger bollocks. I think the other little girl was Lana too. They never did anything with that. They never paid off the Supergirl pod thing.
I've got to stop those B-13 bots before they complete that monolith and destroy Metropolis in the process.
Yeah, way the fuck over. How high can you go?
There's no time to lose.
So how much is the city is like modeled? It's a pretty decent chunk. Here's a Daily Planet. Yeah, like when Amy Adams is like, "Welcome to the planet, Clark." I can't believe that's the end of the movie. And then you'd never get closer to being Superman again. What? At least get to a boss. I wish you could like strafe around them when you're locked on. Dude, lock on to me, piece of shit.
Brainiac 13's robots have defeated Superman.
Alright, fuck this game. But yeah, that was Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. I mean, for all its problems, I think it's a really pretty good movie. I like how it looks, and you know, I like him as Superman. And the action's pretty good. But yeah, it got unnecessarily hated on. Well, I think it got rightfully hated on, but like, then like the movies after it, like, they kept blaming that first one, and it's like, dude, that was like the best one. But yeah, shit.